Excellent, and welcome to Truth in Telecoms. Well, it's been, what, a surreal week, to say the least, Johnny.
I think it's the biggest week ever in messaging, and for the most insanity that I've ever seen in 30 years. I mean, between what the FCC did and now what T-Mobile just did.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm speechless. I mean, we're just writing up this last piece here, and for them to come out there and be able to, I mean, it's like, what happened here? Is this Germany 1940s? Like, what's going on here? Do they think they could just come in here? Like, what? These companies are so you may want to just enlighten some of the audience that since we have now, and congratulations on your 10,000 subscribers and 40,000 viewers.
Yep.
Booyah! Because people want to know about the money. because guys, whatever you think out there, your jobs and everything is about Wall Street. T-Mobile's a $180 billion market cap compared to AT&T's 118. Wall Street.
Yeah.
What's going on here? Wall Street. Twilio, Wall Street. I called it all. But Alan, why don't you kind of explain?
Yep.
Give a little summary here.
Yeah. So it popped out yesterday that T-Mo has instigated 3 tiers of fines for one message. So it's from 500 through to 2,000, depending on the degree of violation, the severity of violation. And so you can receive for one message a $2,000 fine. So just imagine you have 10 messages. That's basically sort of 20 grand there. So for a small business, the bust. It's as simple as that.
And nobody to argue with.
No.
It's their responsibility to have technology to protect their network users.
Correct.
They got hacked 4 times this year.
Yeah, T-Mo did.
And then their service provider, Cineverse, why so Cineverse, the GIMP, they were hacked for 5 years.
Exactly, didn't know.
This is insanity. So this all comes back to the messaging monopolies piece.
But what's crazy is that it's not, T-Mo isn't fining the the business for sending that. It's fining the CSP. Well, it's asking the CSP to collect on behalf. So the messaging monopolies now are the bagmen for the carrier.
Yeah, and the small business, it all runs upstream. They're not going after the scammers, which are them. And by the way, T-Mobile, are you finding yourself? Because most of the spam comes from you and your SIM boxes.
Exactly.
Right? So how does that work, T-Mobile?
Yeah.
Are you out of your minds? Have you completely lost your minds? This comes down to the 3 amigos, Kara, Susan, and Chris, that set up this whole thing with the campaign registry that was supposed to block messaging. Now the word back in the FCC. The FCC unleashes the TCPA.
Correct.
So Wall Street, pay attention.
Yeah.
Everything's a short in 2-3 months. The entire industry is a short unless we get up and get some action now. Yes. I was all prepared to come out with our call to action, which is basically 10 million Americans. I want the first 10 million people to sign up. We got 10,000 subscribers, 40,000 listeners. Some of them don't like us too much. F them. And then when the Swifties get here, basically because we're being spammed on purpose. Enough is enough, right? Enough is enough. But we're not going to do something different. What we're going to do is we're going to offer free phone service. So we're going to sue the carriers pro se. Now we'll need some legal fees for that because there are contingency lawyers. But how many people get a check for $18 on something? Nobody gets the game. So we're going to do things a little bit differently. So before we get into the insanity, that's a call to action. DM me and Alan personally on that. We're going to start that ball game going after the first of the year. And this way, the carriers, it won't cost them that much, but it'll put pressure on them. And I don't see how you lose that because we could actually prove the collusion between the 3 operators, the setting up of the campaign registry. Why? Because they don't want to be regulated.
Yes.
There's guys right now taking our messaging monopolies piece to DC and they're laying it out for senators. And they're saying, well, this is how this works at the end of the day. But there's also other groups, and I'm not sure if the CCA, who, by the way, the Cloud Communications Alliance, everybody is now sponsoring us and getting behind us because their customers and their 150 of the biggest companies in the world are telling them, hey, what is this, man?
Exactly.
We're getting blocked, and this is insanity. So This is maybe the worst move ever.
Well, it's coming to a head.
History.
It's coming to a head. There's no way around it.
It hasn't even started. What happens? They do this in the cover of night, right before Christmas.
Correct.
Talk about the Grinch that stole Christmas. This is the Grinch that blew up Christmas.
Yeah. For many CSPs.
Where do you guys get the nerve? And I understand. Look, there's a lot of pressure I hear from senators that really cornered the operators and people for you guys to understand. Everybody's singing to us. Everybody's talking. A lot of people aren't liking our stuff, but I'm getting messages all day long. I've got roughly 1,000 people that don't want to be known, don't want to connect, but are telling us everything because you know what? They're good people.
Yep, exactly.
You know, we can't even get into artificially inflated traffic and the entire ecosystem of the world that's been destroyed. Yep. But what happened now? Julio, they hate you. The carriers hate you. I know you gave $750 million as a payola to try to get in. They're going to shut you down. Twilio's majority of the spam. They're 80% of the campaigns. So you got these small companies like Telmex, and they want to go down to DC and a consortium, and they're going to go talk to a door. It's going to say FCC, and they're going to sit there in front of the door. Nonsensical. This is crazy. Companies like Cameo are going to get out of messaging. Now, what is a small pizzeria now going to have to like flip more pizzas to pay fines?
Exactly.
T-Mobile, you're responsible for your network, not them, because you're getting heat. And you know what it's all about? AI. So what I understand, and look, if you look at every cease and desist, UMail's on there. Why? First of all, UMail provides a great service, right?
Yep.
But a great service to who? It's free, but if you want the premium service, it's $30 a month.
Yeah.
So now, if you're rich, your grandma got a little bit of better shot of not getting spammed. Yeah. But what about everybody else? What about all the people on Lifeline? This is insanity. And it really comes down to they're not listening to the innovators. Look at the guys from Cinch. These guys, they bought SAP, which was the other hub. They didn't sign up to be Verizon's bitch. These guys are innovators. These are guys that built the company. They bought SAP for the enterprise customers.
Exactly.
And they're like, oh, but you got to take this too. And they're like, oh, okay, we'll take this. And now, because they're not really involved in the messaging monopolies piece by default. Correct. And I know because Thorsten and his brain dead Scipio Partners guys went to go try to bid on it with $7. And Thorsten just ripped it apart. But he's a guy that if he got his hands on this, if you put guys like Paul Walsh, you put Noah Rafalco with his identity. You take a Paul Walsh. You take Mike Rudolph. From UMail. You take Rebecca Johnson. Right.
Exactly.
She's not afraid of nobody. You take Thorsten. You wheel him in like the Hannibal Thorsten. You know what I mean? Who grunts a lot, and then have somebody decipher for him. Bring in real people, because the people that are working at the operators, aren't gonna hold on a second. No, one of the guys I just named is just calling me now. It's like, hey guy, don't you know I'm gonna do the podcast? So I was thinking about this because after we had the Guardians, that amazing guy from FireCloud. Oh yeah, the Guardians of institutional memory.
Exactly.
We're the Guardians of institutional history.
Yeah.
I mean, you go look at my team and you, Alan. We've got 200 years of experience. We know what you did every Christmas for the last 30 Christmases. AT&T was screwing America for 100 years, and then they broke it up. And now what do you have? Now you've got 3 of them, and you got one runaway carrier out of Germany that is saying, hey, we're 180 billion. We're the uncarrier. No, you're the unfair carrier.
Exactly.
You're the unfair, un-American carrier. And look, I'm a big fan of T-Mobile. They're the best customer service ever. You hear from people. You go into their stores, it's great. But what are they doing here? Yeah. So it's either the pressure or they just, because they can. Why are they doing this? Because they can. Because what are these little companies going to do? One guy who's going down to DC, well, it's going to cost me $15 million. No, it's not going to cost you $15 million if you guys would have been listening to us for the last 6 months, just like Wall Street listened to us. Now look at that. Everything I told them, Twilio, $76. Cinch doubled. Link Mobility. How smart are these guys? They just got rid of message broadcast.
Right?
for a couple $100 million. They walk right out the back door. They're over there now with a couple $100 more million in the bank, and they're going to sit there and watch T-Mobile and the TCPA attorneys. Twilio, right now, there's a TCPA law firm, very big one, just looking for more plaintiffs.
Exactly.
Nobody really wants to sign up for these things.
Yeah.
So that's why our call to action is, hey, you want free phone service for a year? Sign here. You like getting spammed? No, you don't like it, right? Okay, no problem. You're in. So that'll be the greatest. And I've never lost a lawsuit, just so you know, in many, many years. I beat you, Cineverse, point blank.
Yeah.
Right to your face.
Oh, yeah.
You only lost. You beat TADHack because Thorsten thought he knew it all, and he went and hired your attorneys,
which is crazy.
Well, you still haven't followed up on a TADHack. I'm gonna have to
next year.
I'm going on strike, Alan Quayle strike, if you don't get down to the TADHack thing, because it's the most amazing story ever.
It is, absolutely.
But I don't even know what to say here with this. T-Mobile, you're going to find yourself, because all the spam's coming from your SIM boxes.
Are
you going to find you?
There's so many sources for spam, and it's all blamed on 10DLC, and it's a crazy situation. It's like it's just a thing they're kicking around. See, it's that thing, but actually the majority of it is coming from within the network.
And it's coming from 100 different directions.
Well, exactly.
But I just named a team. I watched this movie, The Suicide Squad. So it's really a team of people that, they may have a hard time everybody's got patents, right? You got Noah's got his text protect. He's got patents, and Mike Rudolph's got a bunch of patents. Yeah. And Rebecca's got patents. But at the end of the day, if we can get these, if you want to solve this problem, I just gave you 5-6 names of people. Yeah. And you put them in there like the Suicide Squad. And maybe you throw in Virginie Debris, because she could probably get everybody. She's from France. She's French. And she'll make everybody cooperate, because she's that Cinch now. So, yeah. And then you tell guys like Cinch and Mito, hey, try to break in, or have Dorset. Oh, yes. And you'll solve this. But they don't want to solve this. Correct. They don't want to solve this problem. Or they don't know how to solve it. I had a conversation with somebody last night. He's like, I don't think they intentionally want to spam you. I said, no, nobody in the operation wants to intentionally spam you. But the accountants and the guys that are preparing for the quarterly earnings are saying, no, don't stop that revenue. Exactly. What are you, nuts? Because Wall Street decides. Correct. I put out this post with this clown from CNBC who's angry that Julio's at 76. So he's going, I'm kind of hoping it goes back down to 60 so I can buy it again, because I know the company and they're going to be profitable. This guy has no clue. But you know what? People listen. Exactly. People buy. People go buy. Wall Street decides your fate. All these companies and all these great things that I hear with these innovative companies and everything, we can do this, we can do that, we can do that. You could do all these things, but your valuation and the capital, 3,200 startups went out of business this year, 27 billion lost, gone. Gone. Startup money is drying up. But what they don't tell you is they lost 27 billion on those 3,200, but what did they make on the 20? Right? So you don't get me going on the PE insanity. I mean, look at Infobip. I've heard from 3 different guys at T-Mobile, at Twilio. Well, they tried to sell Infobit to us. No way Silvio is going to walk into Twilio and say, hey, you want to buy me? No, that's his private equity group that sunk $800 million into them and is pissed off because they missed the going public. Infobip's a great company. Talking about a real unicorn from a revenue perspective. And then they go ask the employees of Twilio, hey, what do you think of Infobit? What do you think of this? This is how clueless they are. So Jeff Lawson, I've been talking to a lot of your people, and a lot of them are panicky. I don't know what you're doing or what you think's going to happen here, or you're going to pay your way out of this. But if they get their way, you need to be the first person. You need to go find Doug Gardner, drag him up. I got a part of it. Doug Gardner's another one. Be part of the team to fix this. You bring in Doug Gardner, the carriers will run every different direction. And then the king of all, Gene Lou. Yes. We go to Salesforce. We lobby the CEO of Salesforce to let Gene out of jail for like a couple of months. Bang. This is not that complicated. Exactly. It's identity. It's and there's what Paul Walsh is doing on the phishing side. We had a great podcast. Guys, go watch podcast 17. Was it 17? 16? 17 with Paul. I mean, you talk about a guardian of institutional knowledge. Guy's been around forever on the cybersecurity space. He's launching with carriers. But a lot of the carriers, and another thing, Google is handing out money left and right. Google has paid the operators millions and millions of dollars to deploy their RCS. Why?
Yes.
Because they want their info. They want to get their
Correct.
hands on this.
That's it.
What about the privacy issues there? This is such a convoluted mess that
Yes.
I'm having a mental breakdown. And right during Christmas. So,
yeah.
You know, and we can't even get into the foreign ownership. You got Tata there owning the campaign registry now.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? And nobody's still refuted everything that happened with Bill Peters. Although Avi Katz, I know you're listening because you were looking at my LinkedIn last night. You got my phone number. I'm still looking for your submarine, but I think by the time you get around the ocean from California to New York, T-Mobile might get here first. So, and why are we in this mess? You know why we're in this mess? Spoiler alert. Politicians. Because politicians can robocall you and spam you as much as they want. Right. Both sides. How come there's no story busting out? Yeah. And who is the carrier? Who is the carrier? Somebody go ask Tata who the carrier is on the recordings in Bill Peters' complaint. Because next week, we're going to tell you. And you can kind of guess already who it is.
Yeah.
But look, this is insanity.
Yeah.
Wall Street, companies band together, call us, reach out. I'm getting reached out left and right, but this just happened. Yeah. And I mean, who let this go? How did they who in the legal department at T-Mobile said, yeah, this is a great idea. Let's go do this. Yeah. Like, it's insanity. John Ledger, who I've met, who was a former CEO when he was at Global Crossing, he would never do this.
Yeah.
Because so this had to be a call from Germany or something. Because I don't know what they do over there. I mean, one time I was in Germany, I had to let the car run, and some guy came out and started screaming at me, "You got to shut your car off. It's the law." I'm like, "What? Really?"
Yeah. No,
this is like many years ago. I'm like, "I got to shut my car off." Oh, okay. I thought I was going to admit I almost got lynched. So this ain't Germany. This ain't the EU. This is America. You ain't doing this to small businesses. And then T-Mobile puts out a press release that they're giving $11 million to small businesses in small towns. With what? What are you going to do to their businesses? You're putting them all out of business. You're responsible. Not these companies. Not Twilio. Not Cinch. Not Cameo. Not Telnex. Not Infobit. They're not responsible. You're destroying an industry. Why? Because they outsmarted you and created innovation. So we, being the innovators, we're not a forum here, guys. This ain't a forum. You can't pay us. We don't sit in a room and we discuss it. No, we're doing calls to action now. Enough is enough. Because my team is still here. I can just hear Rick Joyce in the house right now going, well, what is this? And I keep trying to call him all the time. He doesn't answer all the time, but he's here. He's listening. He's paying attention. And this is just insanity. Yeah. Insanity. And the TCPA, that whole order from and when we're finished with this piece, guys, which is kind of like the Messaging Monopolies 2 meets the FCC. And it's where, because like Tim McLean said, this is telecom mafia. And who are the police? Who are the police?
Yeah.
The FCC, right? Years ago, Cineverse, when were buying everything, they had Julius Jankowski, who was a former chair of the FCC. Where did he go? He went on the board of Cineverse. Then now where is he? Now he's a big shot at Carlisle, buying everything up. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm getting a lot of feedback that I'm wrong. I'm getting feedback that the FCC cares. I'm hearing from people that are in these meetings, that are in closed door meetings, that all our stuff is there. But what I see is a lot different than what I'm hearing.
Exactly.
Right? So look, AI causing a problem. Look at Putin. Putin gets on a split screen, and then AI is himself. And basically, he's telling the whole world, look what I can do to myself. What do you think I'm going to do to you? Right?
Exactly.
So I think we're at a really important intersection here. Yeah. And guys, first 10 million people that sign up with us, and we're going to get them no matter what, because who's not going to sign? You have nothing to lose.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're going to go, and the carriers, they're going to lose. I mean, you got a RICO suit here like you've never seen.
Yeah.
With these three individuals that talk to each other. This is going on for 20 years. Mm-hmm. And this is not even high-level executives. No. Because they didn't care about messaging. But all of a sudden, a few years ago, messaging exploded. Oh, how do we shift the pricing back? How do we make P2P, A2P? That's all campaign registry was. You make them sign a piece of paper. You can register. You know what? We'll only charge you a half a penny. Wink. But if it's not, and we think it's spam, we're charging you a penny.
Exactly.
The money that's being made here, it's all about money. Wall Street, money. guys, you want to know when you're going to get laid off? Pay attention to Wall Street.
Unfortunately,
So we have a call to action here. We need to finish this piece.
Yeah.
That, you know, we've got some of it done here. It's just insane. You guys need to read it. You need to get with us. I want to say Merry Christmas to you all. I want to say Merry Christmas to, obviously, look, our great innovative companies. I mean, look at these guys. Amit just, he got so pissed off, he created his own solution. Explain what Amit just did.
Yep. So he's put together an open source project to deal with spam. And in the CX Tech newsletter, we basically point to it and provide an introduction because he saw it as AI, fast text, but pretty far along in terms of solving this problem. So let's get a project together and let's get it out there. So any SMSC can basically block spam. It is a soluble problem, but as we've been saying since the beginning, there's the financial incentives to not solve the problem.
Well, now there's even more. I mean, do you buy T-Mobile stock now or do you short them? They're 180 billion. They're worth more than AT&T.
Yeah.
They're worth more than Verizon has fiber across this country.
Yes.
I mean, what does T-Mobile have? Great customer service.
Yep.
Great colors. Great marketing. Okay. And they're the low-cost carrier. And they just bought Mint, which is like $15 a share. I don't think Ryan Reynolds would like this too much. T-Mobile, although he's probably got his money by now.
He's got his money.
I hear he's friends with Taylor Swift.
Correct.
They go to dinner a lot together. So when the Swifties come, but this is wrong. You have companies that you're gonna put businesses, you're gonna put people out of business because you can't protect yourself, and that's the message. So you can go find a way. But we're here, and our audience is growing, and it's going to grow more. And right now, it's just me and Alan. Alan can't even splice the videos like the Guardian of the Galaxy did. You can see the clip he did. You can't do that, Alan. You're the king of innovators. You can't give me the splice video with the music.
Not the music.
I'm like Abbott and Costello. I want to go join that guy and see what he's doing over there at Firefly. I'm ready to go join the French Foreign Legion like an Abbott and Costello. And that video I put out with Campaign Registry and John Bruner, who I hear is a nice guy too. At the end of the day, I don't know, but he's not talking. He's not defending himself.
Yeah.
And then that number, they're in the middle. They're an unsanctioned, sanctioned monopoly. How does that work? I don't know. Exactly. And then in the middle of it all is why so Cineverse.
Yep.
In the middle of it all. Yep. Why so Cineverse? Because Cineverse is really, when I say the GIMP, I mean it. Because they're dependent. They do what the carriers need. Their network, Real Networks, is not theirs. It's another company that was public. One of the guys on my team used to be there. And then you've got Cinch. They've got the same platform that Bill Peters started when he founded InfoMatch. That became SAP. It's the same network. You got antiquated networks. You farm everything out. You take in all the money. You're spamming America to death. And now you want to come out and do this. Not going to happen, T-Mobile. Not going to happen. Not because I said so, because these companies are all talking to each other now. And they're trying to figure out what to do.
Exactly.
And it's not going to take a rocket science to tie in the pieces. So we tie in some major pieces with Messaging Monopolies, Messaging Monopolies Simplified, now with the FCC. I mean, what is that?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a TCPA lawyer's dream. So, and I get it. The pressure is on.
Yep.
You've got 20 state attorney generals that are hammering hard right now. Why? Because they're constituents. These are all people that, are up for vote, for office, right? And they got so many people complaining. Are you going to give back the money to the people like I did on my post? Are you going to take those fines and give it to the grandma that was robbed or who was pig butchered? Because who was pig butchering all you guys out there. T-Mobile, FCC are pig butchering you guys to the TCPA lawyers on one side. They're fattening you up and getting you ready because, like I said, I know a major law firm that's asking me, hey, where can I find more plaintiffs? I don't know. Ask anybody. Well, no, but it's got to be under this criteria, and it's got to be in the Ninth Circuit, and it's got to have one text to the do not call list. So you got to stand on your feet. So, look, you got a few months. I think you guys got a few months, but trust me, TCPA attorneys, plaintiff lawyers, they're all huddling right now.
Yeah.
So you're getting hit on every side. And for what? I don't know. I have this theory, and it's a kooky theory that I don't want I don't want, because nobody will actually believe anything I say anymore, is I think this is a play with Google to come in and take it all off. I mean, look at the amount of money they pay the operators. Yeah. Now, all of a sudden, they announced this deal in the EU. And what is the privacy concerns on that?
Yep.
I mean, forget it right now. Can you imagine you got to give the guys the campaign registry all your data? And John Bruner. I mean, I don't see WMC Global. They're a legitimate company that does security with the banks, right? How come they're not getting the campaigns? I don't think he wants it. He just did some kind of press release with Net Number because they want to get access. So you got a lot of these private companies, and they're all the chosen ones. Yeah. So you have an unholy alliance with the three operators. And honestly, I think maybe AT&T and Verizon said, "You're going to do what? You go do it." Like Mike in the commercial. Mike, you drink.
Yeah, you try it. Yeah.
Let him go do this. Watch this. So I don't know. Are they going to follow with these fines? I don't know. But
they have in the past.
I can't even get into all the other stuff and Tata Communications and Calera and what they're going on there and the stuff I want to talk about because.
Well, we can do that over the holidays. We can add another one in over the holidays.
This is just insanity. I mean, this is beyond. So, hey, T-Mobile, I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, it's
the uncarrier.
We'll leave it at that. Thank you, Johnny.
I'll talk to you later, buddy. Bye.